Now, a wise woman once said, if you want to live fancy, if you want to live in a big mansion, and if you want to party in France, well, you know the rest. Hi, I'm Dr. Angelo Landricina, aka DermAngelo, board-certified dermatologist, skincare enthusiast, and French pharmacy fanatic. That's right, I'm back from my trip to Paris, and today we are doing a French pharmacy haul. I went to some of the storied pharmacies in the city of Paris and I picked up a bunch of interesting French skincare products, some of which I bet you've never heard of before. Today, we're going to run through what I got, what some of my first impressions are, and what my experience shopping for French skincare in a real French pharmacy was like. Before we get into it, make sure you're following me on all social media at DermAngelo. I'm not going to be able to review all of these products on YouTube, so some of my French pharmacy product reviews are there. Now, for those of you who don't know, skincare is really big in France, and French skincare brands are really big all over the world. I think if you're watching this channel right now, you already know that. So brands like La Roche-Posay, Vichy, Roc, Aven, all of them originated in France. A lot of them originated from specific thermal spring water sources. So thermal spring water has been used in dermatology and medicine in France for centuries, and that's the basis of a lot of these brands. In France, they actually see skincare as kind of medicine adjacent. So when you go to a French pharmacy, while you do have your pharmacy counter where they dispense medications, most of them also have a pretty big skincare selection. And that's basically most of what you find there. Medicines, supplements, and skincare. Also, the employees in pharmacies in France all have to be well-versed and trained in what products they have there. So while you might have a great skincare shopping experience in any pharmacy in France, I went to two huge pharmacies in Paris. The first of which is City Pharma. So if you're a skincare fan, you may already know about this pharmacy. It's very popular among skincare lovers. Why? It has a huge selection of skincare. It is just packed with people. It is so popular, not just because of the selection, but also because of their prices. They have some of the lowest prices on skincare in Paris. And so shopping in this place is a little bit crazy. It's packed with people. They actually sell out of a lot of products, so I had trouble finding some of the things that I wanted there. This wasn't my first time going there. I had been there on previous trips to Paris, and I think, yeah, it's a great stop if you're somebody who was a serious skincare fan. While I was in Paris, I also found another hidden gem that's a little bit newer. It is the pharmacy in Forum des Halles. So for those of you who don't know, Les Halles is this big transportation hub for the subway in Paris. They also have a large shopping mall there. It is gigantic. It is like the size of an American grocery store, and it's almost fully filled with skincare and hair care products. The reason I say this is a hidden gem is like it's not so overrun with people yet. So shopping there was a lot more relaxed. It was easier to find things. I really felt like I wasn't like rushed. It was less anxiety provoking, and I could do more of like a leisurely shopping there. In addition to that, I felt like the prices were pretty comparable to City Pharma, so that's another one to check out. It's really easy to get to by metro. So what was my skincare shopping strategy when I hit the pharmacies in Paris? I tried to go mostly for products that I couldn't get here in the United States. A lot of the brands that you'll see that I shop from, I do have access to here in the US. We just don't necessarily have all the products, and some of these products you can only find in Europe. In addition to that, I did go for some products that I can get in the US. I've just like never had like hands-on access to. And you'll see that a lot of these products are a lot cheaper when you buy them in France. I also made sure that I had a lot of space for this stuff in my checked luggage. Another thing, you can shop for these products tax-free, duty-free if you are leaving the country. You just have to make sure that you tell your cashier that when checking out, especially at City Pharma. Do it first. Okay, so let's start out with our first brand, which is La Roche-Posay. This is a brand that I'm a big fan of. I've also done work with them before. They have a great selection of products in the US. They just have a lot of products in the EU that you can't get outside of the EU, and chief among those are sunscreens, just because of the way that sunscreens are regulated. One of the main products I wanted to get my hands on is this Anthelios UV Immune 400 SPF 50+. This is a legendary sunscreen. It comes in both tinted and untinted versions. I think I'm gonna do a full rundown and YouTube video just on the La Roche-Posay sunscreens that I got in France, so look out for that. I also got there, this is a little bit newer, Anthelios Age Correct. So this is also broad spectrum, SPF 50. This is a little bit more of an anti-aging moisturizer. I think they have niacinamide in here to target hyperpigmentation. And I also picked up an Anthelios 50+ lip balm. Sun protection for the lips is just as important as other parts of the body, and I think it's often neglected. So I wanted to try out a lip balm that could fit the bill potentially. Next, in miscellaneous products from La Roche-Posay, I picked up nail polish that is supposed to be UVA and UVB protective, and is supposed to be somehow good for the nails. I'll let you know about that. I got the color Rose. I don't think we have access to their color cosmetics here in the US, so I'm excited to try this one out. I got this Lipicar Eczema Med Cream. I'm a big fan of the Lipicar range. They had an extensive number of products in the Lipicar line in France that you can't get here, different variations on the moisturizers. This is supposedly like a antimicrobial eczema treatment. I picked this up because my hand eczema has been flaring up. I started to use it while I was in France. I don't know if I have a full review for you yet, so look out for that. Lastly, in this category, I picked up their Lipicar Zerand, which is a hand cream. I kind of remember that this may have been in the US way back in the day, like maybe 10 years ago. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I almost used this all the way down just because I was in need of a hand cream when I was in France. And I gotta tell you, it doesn't seem to be in line with the rest of the Lipicar line. I think it hasn't been reformulated since they reformulated the rest of the line. I'm a little bit underwhelmed. It's not exactly what you would expect. It's a little bit lighter, more water-based, not so much lipid-based, scented. Not that I have any problem with scents and hand creams, it's just the rest of the Lipicar line is fragrance-free. I was a little bit surprised by this. Okay, and lastly, but definitely not least, from La Roche-Posay, I picked up the rest of their Cicaplast line. Now, in the US, here we have the Cicaplast Balm B5, and that's maybe one of like the biggest fan favorite products among my DermAngels. I learned this during the DermAngies at the end of last year. If you haven't seen the DermAngies, click the card above to watch it. The Cicaplast Balm B5 is a DermAngie winner, and you all love that stuff. What I ended up finding out when I was in France, that there's an entire Cicaplast line of products available there. So I got a Cicaplast B5 spray, Cicaplast B5 gel, Cicaplast Lèvres lip balm, and a Cicaplast Levant B5, so a gel cleanser, which I've actually really been liking. Lastly, an SPF 50 version of the Cicaplast Balm B5. I was really excited to see this. I know a lot of you use this as your daily moisturizer. It's really good for sensitive skin, so to have SPF and that balm in one seems like a home run. There will be a full review and a full YouTube video on the rest of the Cicaplast line coming up on my channel, so you should subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Next up, Biafine. You can't go to a French pharmacy and not pick up Biafine. I feel like it's the rule. We always have Biafine in our house because I live with a Frenchman. What is it? It is a ointment that has the active ingredient trolamine. It's anti-inflammatory. French people use this after getting sunburns. It's been shown in research that it is good for burns. It helps burn wounds close faster. This is something that a lot of people keep on hand for skin irritation, burns, and things like that, so I had to re-up. What surprised me though was that there is now like an entire Biafine skincare line, so it's not just the original Biafine. There are other products, and one that I picked up is this Cica Biafine Repairing Balm. I'm gonna start trying this out. It looks like they've got like a lot of hydrating, barrier enforcing and soothing ingredients in here, including glycerin. You've also got dimethicone, hyaluronic acid, panthenol, bisabolol, allantoin, so all hydrating, soothing ingredients in here. I'm excited to try it out. Next up, we have Aven. This is another thermal spring water brand. I'm really familiar with it in the US. I've actually worked with this brand before too. I picked up 2 products that I can't get in the US. The first is their Cleanance Comedo Med. This has oil absorbing silica in it, so it's supposed to be a mattifying product. It also has their Comedo Elastin plant complex in it that I think is supposed to unclog pores. I'm interested to try this out. Over there, they also have their DermAngelo line. This is an anti-aging line. I picked up their Comforting Night Balm. It's in this cool, like, twisty package. It's a rich balm. There's a lot of oils in here, some plant extracts that are supposed to be anti-aging, including bakuchiol. I tried this out a few times already. It seems to be a pretty good thick moisturizer. Watch this space for more. Next up, we have the brand Uriage. This is another thermal spring water brand in the vein of La Roche-Posay, Vichy. However, it was founded a little bit later. It looks like they started up in 1992. I didn't know that this was available in the US. I'm not sure if these exact products are all available in the US. However, my first time seeing them was during this trip and they were everywhere. So I decided to pick up some of their best sellers, a water cream, their Zemos face cream, which is a little bit thicker, and their night water sleeping mask that I'm going to try out. And since it was pretty popular, I decided to pick up their water cream tinted compact SPF 30. This looks like a cushion compact SPF, which I've never really used before. So I'm excited to try that one out. Watch this space for a full review. Okay, another brand that I hadn't heard of until I went to France this time, even though it's available in the US, is Filorga. I hope I'm saying that the right way. I got their Time Filler 5XP. This is one of their best sellers. It's an anti-aging gel cream. It's really light on the skin. It has, I think, proprietary peptides or just peptides in here, as well as hyaluronic acid. We do love a good peptide in this house. I'm gonna try this out a little bit more and get back to you with a review. I also picked up Homeoplasmin. This is what some people say is a must-have French pharmacy product. It originally was developed for chapped nipples from breastfeeding, but apparently people use it for all kinds of skin irritations. I tried this on my hand eczema and I looked a little bit more into it after I bought it. Hate to break it to you, I think that this is just fancy Vaseline. Like it's petroleum jelly with like a few random plant extracts in it. I'm not sure that I'm gonna go much further with this. I guess I'll just moisturize with it or something. One thing that I did re-up on just because it was cheap there was the Chlorane Dry Shampoo. This is like my favorite dry shampoo. I find that it doesn't leave my hair looking powdery. I actually got a deal on it. I got a 2-pack. However, this is the first time that I tried out their dark hair version. Usually I just get the one that's for all hair. And I think the only difference is that like this is tinted brown a little bit. Still a great product. There's actually a few things that I didn't find while I was over there just because they were out of stock at the pharmacies that I went to. One was A313, which is a retinoid that everybody rants and raves about, and people were asking me of a review for it. I guess you'll have to wait until the next time I go to France. The second thing that I heard about that I wanted to get but never saw was a Lipikar stick moisturizer. It seems to be like a really thick, waxy stick that you could put on really dry skin. I'm sad that I didn't see it. As I said before, I'm a big Lipikar fan. So hopefully on my next trip, it'll turn up. Or La Roche-Posay, if you're listening and you want to send it over, I wouldn't mind. And there you have it. That is my entire French pharmacy haul. Let me know down in the comments, what products are you excited to hear my reviews on? Have you tried any of these products? Do you have any opinions that you want to share with the class? Let us know. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload. Ciao!